Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to From the Tabletop, the TTRPG broadcast from the League of Extraordinarily OK Gamers. I'm really impressed that I get that out every time. I'm the Wraith and your host and GM, and I'm excited that you're here and tuning in for another session of the Dawns Our Voyage Holds. Today, we also get to hang out with Guy Fox 88,
Hello.
Hawkeye 4124,
Mm.
and your local N7. A very enthusiastic crowd today, and for a good one. um, Great. One quick note before we get started. I do realize that we should be a little better about making sure that we are actually leveling up when we're supposed to be in game. So
I feel called out.
I mean, it's kind of for me, not for
Peasant.
uh, being on you guys about it, and I mean just everybody, because we've always been just kind of leveling up at the end of session. Um, but I think so. The level up move is supposed to be when you have downtime, hours or days. Blah 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 blah. Do the thing. So basically, when you have a chance to make camp and uh, do things that are not running around and trying not to die. So that said, last time we left off, you guys had quote unquote completed your mission here in Third Shuldor. You'd gotten in the ship and were trying to escort the refugees back along the Spine Road to Newwater Nest. And I think I sort of hand waved it at the end of the session last time, but I actually do want to pick up um, on that road because I think there are interesting things here that I would like to explore a little bit. So before we jump in, let's do a quick review, as always, of bonds and alignment because I think we had a couple updates since last time, right? Let's start with Zahida.
Yeah, okay. I don't think my bond for Matthos changed. It's still it just says he obviously thinks that my questions and others are trying and that I am naive but I am a warrior and the daughter of a hero and I will prove him wrong.
Okay.
And then the one that I have for wit did change. And it says, I know implicitly that Fawyt will protect us. However, she puts herself in danger to do so. Her life is not expendable. I aim to make her understand that.
Excellent. Yes. Um, okay. And then Fawyt.
One for Zahida is a lost child is a target for wolves of many sorts. She may not need my protection, but I can work to spare her from the worst of the world. And the one with Matthos is the one that changed. He is more able than he realizes. He can match me in speed, but he needs to push to make use of it more. I have the skill to bring that out in him.
Nice. I like that a lot. And then Matthos.
I think mine with Zahida changed because I didn't really have one.
Okay.
And I have it listed that she acts like a child and needs to grow mentally, and that I should maybe try to mentor her.
It's great. I love the back and forth of the two of you. Dueling bonds. Great. And then Fawyt's bond.
I don't have like a resolution for it, but I'm
Okay.
very impressed with her skills and dex, and I'm going to try to learn more. So I guess maybe that can be resolved at some point if that counts.
Yeah. Still a very scary individual. Great.
We can do a training montage.
Training montage. I mean,
All we need is a montage.
what campaign isn't complete without a good training montage? Um, Great. Okay, so you had jumped in this little skyship, the what was this one called? A Light to Linger in the Thousandth Age.
Light.
The light. You guys had jumped in this and escaped, doing some fancy flying down along the cliffs, and then sort of met back up with the refugees who were heading down the south down the spine road here towards Newwater Nest. So it was basically morning as you guys, as you all were leaving Third Shoulder. So we'll say as the morning starts to get on and you are all kind of putting the Third Shoulder behind you. You had said you were kind of overwatching this group, like sort of flying close by to keep an eye on them. Is that correct? Am I remembering that properly?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so as you are doing that, you're maybe an hour or two on from the from Third Shoulder. If you remember, coming when you made this journey the first time walking along the road, it took a little over a day, I believe, to make that journey along the road through sort of wooded areas and cliffs and rocky outcroppings and things like that. Nothing too crazy, but it does get a little wildernessy and rural as you make your way away from the city here. Even though you're still on Atoberon, you're not quite out in the super wilds of the Gel wilds. As you're sort of flying along, Matthos is the one piloting the ship. I think Gentis-Jentish, man, I really should not have done that, should I? Is in the tiny little cabin, trying to patch themselves up. As you remember, when you kind of left them to fend for themselves, when you had met back up with them, Matthos got caught by them after escaping through a roof hole. They were pretty beat up. Some sort of blast marks and some bloody wounds and things, so they weren't in the best shape. So they're in there patching up, and I think they have.
Why do you keep saying they?
That description was super accusatory, by the way.
Yeah,
Just
well,
saying.
I mean, it's fair. So I'm trying to get better at referring to any Hothenborn as they, because they're always the two-headed thing. Like they have the human head, and then they have the animal head on their left arm, which
All
are
right.
two separate. In Gentis-Jentish's case, the human head is male, and the animal head is a female. So that's why I've been trying to make sure I refer to them as they. Anyway, so I think they've been probably a little cold towards you since you left. Still professional, but not the.
Oh, I'm sorry. I even came back for them.
I mean,
Fuck.
the finer points of that can be argued. As they rescued, caught you from taking fall damage after you escaped. Whatever. Anyway.
Oh, after I distracted the thing from killing them and took all the damage and jumped out of a fucking roof.
I mean, semantics at this point, I feel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Matthos thinks he's
We're gonna have semantics.
they're gonna have some antics. Anyway, so you guys are flying along. What? Give me a quick. Is there anything you guys are trying to do at this point? Keep in mind that you have not slept through the night here and had some pretty arduous treks through the city. Zahida, you lugged a cart halfway across the city and then lugged a large plate halfway back across the city.
Thing.
You guys had some fights, and most of you got at least a little bit beat up. So just keeping all of that in mind, give me a quick picture, I guess, besides Matthos, unless you have something additional you're doing besides piloting the ship.
I'm also staring daggers at Gentis.
Gentis-Jentish.
Yeah.
I mean,
If he wants to act if he wants to act cold toward me, then he's gonna get it right back at him.
Noted. So what are the other two of you doing?
How would we go about healing in this?
So. Bum, 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 bum.
Isn't it like D&D? You have to like take a rest or something.
Yeah, there's the recover. Trying to think if there was another slightly. So Brack has the capabilities to heal. There's the recover move, which is when you do nothing but rest in comfort and safety. After a day of rest, you recover all your HP. So on and so forth from that, longer and longer.
Here's how we heal. We go and pick up Brack, and he heals us.
Someone text Chris.
There's the make camp. When you settle into rest, consume a ration. If you're somewhere dangerous, decide the watch order as well. If you have enough XP, you may level up. When you wake from at least a few uninterrupted hours of sleep, heal damage equal to half your max HP. So that's the other way you can kind of passively heal damage.
That actually works perfect for me.
Okay.
Well, I can assure you, if you're on this ship, you are not in a safe space.
Is that like a self burn or?
I'm flying.
Ooh, a self burn. Those are rare.
And I'm pissed.
So Fawyt, what's the deal? Even in just general terms, I'm just more curious than anything else.
I would say she just like chills out, eats some rations, tries to catch like a couple hours of sleep. She's been doing parkour all over the place.
You ain't sleeping on this boat.
I'll use my move.
Matthos just loudly banging hands together.
I'll use my move, stay out of the light, which makes me undetectable in shadows.
Oh, it's got nothing to do with being detected. It's the fact that I'm flying this ship like a fucking asshole.
I am. Let's see. I mean, I think, like I said, at this point, I think it's only been like maybe an hour or two out from the city, so I don't know that it's been long enough to satisfy the terms of that yet. I think we'll say.
I mean, I'd be keeping watch then.
Okay.
If she wasn't able to like rest and recover yet. Definitely keeping watch.
For anything specific, like are you watching the refugees? Are you watching the surrounding area? Are you watching back towards the city?
I think she definitely watch more back towards the city than anything.
And Zahida, how about you?
Firstly, since I was not there when they left Gentis-Jentish behind, I was all the way across the city at that point. I am going to extend the hand of help so that we don't have another pissed off NPC.
How many pissed off NPCs have you got so far?
I'm not sure, but I think there's a few.
Name
so
one.
We're just double checking that. I like to keep all my bases covered, so.
That's fair.
So there's actually like a little cabin on this ship.
Yeah, I mean very small. I like
Okay.
think of the kind of thing where if you have like one of those small fishing boats, where you'll have like a small indoor area, or like a maybe better would be like it was like sort of mid-size sailboats, so not like a two-person sailboat, but
Oh, sure.
yeah. So that's a tiny cabin area, so bigger than the one you had on the ship that you blew up, but still not.
Um. Yeah. So I go in. Does it have a door on it?
Yeah. Let's say it has a door.
Okay. I uh knock and kind of peek my head in and say, "Is there anything that I can do to help?"
The I think the human head just kind of grunts a little bit, and the the female animal head sort of looks up towards you and says, he's too stubborn to admit it, but he's got something on his back that would be helpful to help have an extra hand to patch up, if you don't mind.
I I say, "Sure. I'm more of a fighter than a healer, but I can certainly try."
Um, yeah, and I mean, they're just looking for basically just an extra hand to help, get at something on his back that he can't reach very well. Um, but yeah, so you help them do that, and the human head just gives another sort of like sort of half muttered thanks in reply, um, and then goes about sitting there and quietly polishing some, rubbing the blood off of his boots.
Yes, the boots. I knew it. I very obvious that they don't really want any company, but I uh give their shoulder a squeeze, and I'm like, uh, you know, not to. I don't want it to come off like I don't know. Condescending is not the word that I want to use, but like um I don't want it to sound like a platitude, but I say something to the effect of, "You would not have been left behind, just to be clear about this. I would not have allowed that to happen."
Well, I appreciate that at least.
And I clap him on the shoulder and I head the fuck out.
Great. So
Then yeah, I would probably look down over the ship at watching the refugees.
okay, so you're keeping an eye on refugees. Great.
Yes.
So not too long after that, you start to see a little bit more activity among the refugees than just walking. If I'm remembering correctly, we're somewhere in the area of like 35 at this point. After a few were lost in the Tilbaresh ambushes. Um, but you can see, depending upon how high you're flying up here, I think basically you can see a couple of them start, at least one of them stumble, and then I think you can see Nylarenthi down there. She's got one of her lower arms, has sort of rushed over to the person that's fallen, and has one of their lower arms on there, and is using their two upper arms to sort of wave largely up in the air, trying to wave you down,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah, I pointed out to Matthos and ask if he'll take us in.
Fine.
Are you looking to land, or
I actually I say I think maybe you can just bring us close enough so that I can jump down. You don't have to land.
Yep.
Okay. You guys do that. I don't think that's necessarily dangerous enough to warrant a roll. But you, Matthos, you kind of skim down in the ship alongside the road, and Zahida jumps off. Fawyt, are you staying in the ship or are you jumping down with her?
Yeah, I'll probably jump down with her.
Okay. Great. So then, Matthos, are you flying back up then?
Yeah, I'll pull up a bit.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get super high in case I need to get down quickly, but
Okay. And just kind of sort of circling in the area.
yeah.
Okay. So then, Zahida and Fawyt, when you guys come over to, I guess this really doesn't matter all that much, but it's fun to see. You guys come over to Nylarenthi, the Barblish blacksmith that you had sort of seen act as a sort of a leader among the refugees here. Informs you that these people are reminds you really that these people are now very tired and have not eaten or had water other than they could sort of get dripping down from the ceiling or something as they've been trapped for a couple weeks in the bottom of that or a week or two in the bottom of the basement. So she looks up at you, clearly concerned to some extent. You can see this person that has dropped this sort of elderly man. She's trying his best to sort of help him up. She's like, we can. I don't know how much longer we can continue like this. I know we need to get away from that city, but I
Um. How many hours are we out now?
I'd say probably like hour and a half, 2.
Okay, that's certainly not far enough. Okay. How many people, now that Fawyt and I are off, could we fit the worst of them on the ship?
On the ship, I would say you could probably get I don't know, if we're thinking of a sort of mid-sized sailboat. I mean, you could maybe pack like 10 people on. Does that seem reasonable?
I mean, yeah, um, I would say put the worst of them up on the ship, and if I have to carry one of them, I can carry one. Because there's only 2 people up on the ship right now, so I mean, you could fit, 10 more up there. Then, I mean, we still need to put some space between us and the city. And if there's a few that just need a couple hours of sleep, I mean, of course they need fucking, everybody needs fucking a whole fucking day, but I mean, we can't stay here. There's no way we could, like, even off the beaten path here, there's no way we could make camp just an hour and a half away from the city. There's no way.
She gives you a nod and sort of looks over to one of the other refugees who is one of the sort of younger ones that you noticed had been, sort of trying to fend off the Tilberish and in the ambush that have sort of makeshift weapons, and she calls over to them to to start rounding, sort of get the weakest among them up, and try and sort of figure out who we can put on the ship and um, who we can keep down here and try and keep going for a little while longer. And they do that. So then I'm assuming, Matthos, you come and get a little bit of a landing in here, long enough to get some people on the ship. And we'll put some of these refugees here on the ship with you guys. And Gentis-Jentish, I think, is up and trying to, helping pull people up on the boat and trying to tend to some people, pulling some things out of some storage containers and trying to do what they can to help the people. Maybe sort
Yeah,
of
is there like
find a little
do we actually
sleeper.
have anything on the ship?
In terms of supplies and things, you mean?
Yeah, like is there things that we can like just fucking get rid of? I guess I don't know what's on it.
I mean,
Like if there's like any sort of like like useless if there's anything that we know we're not going to need in the next 20 hours, then I think that we should
yeah,
drop it.
I think because this is a ship that he kind of has mentioned he sort of borrowed basically from a friend or something. So I guess I'm imagining this as not like a like a pleasure yacht kind of a thing, but like a more recreational thing. So yeah, I think there's a few things. I don't even know what would that look like on like a Scott. What would you have on a recreational?
Like if there's like
I
extra
I don't
supply,
know.
like
Are there fish here? Fishing supplies?
Yeah, there could be some fishing supplies, that sort of stuff. Yeah, maybe some bigger things that you could sort of take a few minutes to sort of pull out, and then I guess dump on the side of the road here.
I mean, I just mentioned that to Gentis-Jentish. I'm like, look, it's your friend's ship, but the quicker that we can get away from Third Shoulder, the better.
Um, I can't say they'll be happy, but I think getting people back alive is probably the better way to go here. And they agreed to help you facilitate that. So let's say we get five more people on the ship, which will be the kind of the I think we'll call that basically all of the oldest and the most infirm
Okay.
are able to get up on the ship.
Okay. And if I mean, I'm pretty strong, so if there's even one more that just it's not gonna work out. I could probably even carry. I'm pretty sure I've carried 2 people at once before. So if we have to do that, then that's what we got to do. But we can't stop.
So you guys are able to get that facilitated. Gentis-Jentish goes back to helping people around, trying to get people as settled as possible in the ship. Matthos, you take back up into the air, and Zahida and Fawyt carry on with the bulk of the refugees. So what did I say? Like, so the about 20. So it's barely the bulk, but 20 of these slightly stronger refugees, including Nyloranthy and a small handful of people who have kind of improvised weapons.
Yeah, I stay out front probably with
Okay.
my shield up, weapon ready, just in case. You never know.
Fawyt, what are you doing in this situation here?
My first instinct is to say that I kind of trail behind, assuming that that's where the most obvious threat will be coming from.
Great. Okay. So then, I think with that, you guys are able to get another good few hours sort of into the afternoon, basically before some of this group of refugees, more than a few of them, I think there's a point, around noonish or whatever, that some of these start flagging, and Zahida, you can have carried one or a few of them um, as you go along, and you get till about mid afternoon here, where you're um, a good ways away from Third Shoulder at this point, and out into the the woods of this road, um, before you get another sort of wave of people that that need to have something be done about. What are you guys doing now?
Isn't it? So this is just the biggest road between Third Shoulder and oh shit, what, Newwater Nest?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I would say that this is kind of like the road between the two of them. It's
Okay.
it's a
So it's
reasonably
well
sized
traveled at
road,
least.
but yeah, oh, absolutely. Um, and yeah, I mean, there might be sort of like small hunter trails or something, but certainly nothing near as significant as this between the two.
Oh, there aren't any like towns between the two. There aren't like even small villages or anything like that.
Um, I mean, that's a good question.
Because
I
these are like two of the biggest cities on this Toberon, right?
Yeah, they are the two big cities on this Tobron. Yes. Um.
Um, so I mean, I'm just thinking if this is any sort of like trade route at all, like that. I mean, even though they have flying ships, this road is obviously really well traveled between these two big cities. I mean, if there's like some sort of outpost or like watchtower or even like a small town in
hmm
between that we could like stop at, I would say we could probably for a few hours, but
I'll tell you what. 'Cause I think that sounds reasonable to me. The only the yeah. Before I say any more, why don't you give me just like a straight up and down. I forget if there's like a name for this in Dungeon or not, but just give me a straight up and down 2d6.
okay.
Um. Okay, so you don't take any XP or something. This is just to like sort of decide something. Um, so you are able to find uh, come across a small camp um, that probably somebody in the group knows about. It ends up being a little further on the road, so you have to sort of push a little bit to get there. Um, but it's a small sort of outpost camp, not quite as big as like a village. Um, but when you get there, you find that it's been abandoned. Um, I mean, relatively recently. It's probably not too much of a leap to guess that people probably left here about the time the whole Galewalker invasion, as this was not a safe
Mhm.
place. Um, and you are able to, as you sort of get closer, you're able to see a few signs of um, uh, sort of light looting. Um, Maybe one of
Are there like
the buildings has
it,
been
it's a
burned down,
if
but
it's a yeah, okay. I was gonna say, are there even? I mean, if there's any sort of buildings, these people have to go
hmm
in
yeah,
them.
the small, yeah. Um, This is, I think, the kind of thing that you would expect, sort of like hunters or traders along the road to sort of stop off at for a little bit.
Right.
So maybe a couple things like that. So as you get closer to it, like I said, you see that there is ostensibly no signs of people here, and some relatively clear signs of some kind of looting and pillaging or whatever.
Okay.
Well, what do you guys do?
Oh, say we get the people into the buildings. I don't think we should stay. What you said is like midday, right?
Yeah,
Or
late.
is it
I'd say
past?
sort of early, mid-afternoon.
Okay. Um, I mean, even if we only stay here for a few hours, I mean, the sun will probably set soon, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of seems like we might be here for the night. Um, so I don't know. I would say maybe I kind of like wave Mathos down, and then we try and get all of these people um into these buildings and maybe get like some fires going. I mean, I don't know. We don't want to call attention to this, but also you can't really miss the ship, right? So, I mean, if somebody comes across this camp, it's going to be pretty obvious that there's, 50 people here.
Um, sure. Any other input, suggestions, agreements? No.
I'm just trying to remember, like, if the Gale Walkers travel more during the day or at night.
I mean, we've only ever seen them during the day, right?
I would say, uh, why don't, if you're trying to remember something, why don't you give me a spout lore roll? Great. So, um, as far as you remember, and trying to remember what you saw from the invasion and from the little bit you saw in interesting and useful, uh, little bit you saw in what happened while you guys were in Third Shoulder this most recent time, um, the all of the attack and everything, um, and the invasion happened during the day, uh, and most of the activity you came across in Third Shoulder at nighttime was because you were there mostly over the course of the night when you were poking around. Uh, you would assume was mostly defensive from what you kind of gathered there. Um, I will give you on a 10 here um, that the if it basically it's you're reasonably sure you're probably safe from Gelwalkers here at nighttime. The thing you would want to watch out for is wildlife.
Okay.
So as far as what you can remember, which with a 10 you can be reasonably sure of, unless there's something terribly uh, aberrant or some other reason somewhere. That's what you can be pretty well assured of.
So, in like setting watches, we could do more of a normal thing. We wouldn't need to be like prepared for a large scale attack. So, I'm fine with hunkering down then.
Yeah, because they didn't know about. I mean, it didn't seem like whatever it was that they were doing back in the city up at the tower, that's obviously what their concern was. They didn't seem to care about this plate or any of these people until we came up and made a bunch of noise and like blew up half the city block.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that they were really all that interested in civilians or this dumb tabletop that we have. So yeah, so I think we should get all these people in buildings, and then we can set up some fires and a watch and all that good shit.
Great. All right. Well, that sounds like a make camp move to me. When you settle into rest, consume a ration. So everybody, you guys took rations and stuff, right?
Yeah. Also, what's the woman's name again?
Nylarenthi?
Nylarenthi. Okay, I kind of pull her to the side and I say, your people are probably going to have more use for this than I am within the next 12 hours. And I can always get more. And I give her all of my Enfaden bread.
Okay. What was the is there a way to pop that in the chat? I don't even
I
know.
think
Or
so.
you can just Okay,
No,
so that's
yeah.
14 uses. Was there like a special
Yeah,
text on that?
it was like lembas bread because that's what I wrote it down
Right.
as, and you changed it.
Where was that here? Gear. Okay, so it's just yeah, you buy it has 7 uses. So you've got basically 2 stacks of those. So 14 uses. So that's enough to feed 14 people for the night basically. Out of the let's
I let her make that. She
Okay.
can make that. She knows her people better than I do, obviously. So
Yeah, so I think she says this will definitely go a long way. The, there's the amount of us that could get by without eating are very few, and would only make us even weaker for the road ahead. If there was any way we could maybe send out a hunting party or something before the sun sets, or if there's any other food that you might have. If we want to get to Newwater Nest, my people need to eat.
The second she said hunting, I'm gone.
say yes. We have a hunter amongst us.
Great. So you, is there a role for that? I feel like there is. Actually, you know
for
what?
hunting?
Yeah, there
Oh.
is one in the. I should have had this pulled up, shouldn't I?
I mean, I could also use animancy because sense is one of my strengths, and it has the tag of seeking.
Okay.
I definitely don't know anything, especially not here because I don't. I mean, obviously I don't say it out loud, but we don't know this land very well.
Okay. I'm pretty sure there was some kind of. Making up forage in the perilous wilds. There is a forage move. This is when you spend a day seeking food in the wild, and your surroundings are not barren. Roll plus whiz.
I collect firewood. That's what I do.
Okay. I will. So I think if you make to leave, I think there's at least a couple other people here, that uh, basically are able to come help you. Um, I don't I don't think Gentis-Jentish is super knowledgeable or anything on hunting, so I don't know that he's going to be any help for you, but or they are going to be any help. But I think there's a couple people here, so I'm willing to use that fictionally to say that you can do this without spending a day to go out here.
Can I
So
use? Could I? use animancy to maybe get like a +1 forward.
Yeah, I will give you that. If we do,
Because my wisdom is fucking 0.
let's do this. Where's my? I'm looking right at it. There we go. So you're looking for the help solve a problem part of the move, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and make that. So you're using that to try and give yourself the advantage here, basically, to give yourself a
Don't-
+1.
Don't you have
Yeah.
the eyes of a puma or something like that?
I
Can't
don't
you
have any
see?
special stuff for eyes, no. Oh god, it's so much, but I rolled a 14.
Okay, beautiful.
Nice job.
So certainly helps to choose one. It won't last long. You need to hurry to take advantage of what your spell affects. Yeah. What's your one from that list there?
I feel like we need to hurry anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
fair.
yeah, I'll just go with that one.
It won't last long.
Yeah.
Great. So so what does this look like?
Oh, I definitely want like the panther to just like materialize and start like helping me.
Oh
like,
yeah,
find
great.
prey.
So you can see the this sort of spectral panther form as your own eyes turn into the kind of cat eyes as you're
Yeah.
casting your animancy, and it's prowling out there. I actually think there's at least one of the other people um, who does something similar. I think you can see their eyes. They sort of do some hand movements, taking a cue from you, seeing you do it, and you see their eyes go into like hawk eyes, and so that gives you some help making this. So go ahead and make that wisdom roll, and I will give you yeah, I'll give you this this +1. I'm trying to decide if I should give you an extra +1 because you've got the aid here from other people, but let's stick with just the +1 from what you're giving yourself here. So you rolled a 5.
That's even with the +1.
That's with. Is it plus the +1? Oh, +1 forward. Okay.
That was dog's ass. Oh, do I get an experience?
You do get an experience.
I shouldn't be overly excited about that.
Worth
but-
it. Starving to death, worth it.
Yeah, even if I was giving you an extra +1 from the other people, it wouldn't matter. Mark XP. Okay, so you guys are out in the sort of early evening at this point. Let's just codify this and say that you are here with 3 other people. One of them was Hawkman, and 2 others. One of them is a Barblish, and one of them is a Pocken, because yeah, why not? And so you are out here. Your Panthers scouting out here with you. It's starting to get dark. The sun's setting as you're out in the woods here. Sort of scouting in along some cliff sides, and you're following some trails of some animals that are I think even with your limited time here, you can judge an amount of what these animals are, that you're tracking some sort of like deer-like animals, and as you're following this trail, you you see some other tracks get introduced to them, and you find Tilbarash tracks, and then not long after that, you find the remains of some kind of animal carcass. It's eaten enough that you can't really tell what it is, even if you could know what kind of animal it was. But there are so there's at least like two or three, I think you could probably tell from tracks here. And as you are what would be your, I would say, what would be your instinct as you see that going on? As you're out here trying to find food.
Guess it's time to eat some Tilbarash.
Somewhat desperately.
I mean, that's honestly like a carcass will attract predators, and they can be eaten too.
Great. So you're keeping an extra eye out here, and as you're two of these other you have a bow, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you have a bow. None of these other people have. I mean,
I
anything...
see. I was gonna give the. I was wanting to say I want to give the bow to one of the people that are with me. Because I never use them.
Great. So which do you have any preferences?
I think like Hawkman.
Hawkman. Okay. Great. So you have given your bow to Hawkman, and so you've got your axes out then.
Yeah.
Great. So as you're following along this trail, it's starting to get dark, and you are out. I'm going to say that you're out in front here, and just as you notice, I think your panther helps call your attention to the fact that sort of a little bit on from the carcass, you notice these Tilbarash tracks kind of double back, and behind you, you out of the corner of your eye catch a flash of sort of dim bioluminescent light as one of the Tilbarash jumps down onto the Pocken, and is beginning to mangle them. And beyond that, you can't see anything else going on. Any others in the immediate area. But what do you do from there?
I'll try, or I'll try to protect the guy, get him off of,
Okay.
get the Tilbarash off of him. Could I take the time to? Oh, he's not defenseless or unaware though.
No,
so I'll
I
just
don't think
attack
so.
him.
Are you? Is your intention to attack and wound, or is your intention to kind of disengage him from the other? What's your kind of?
Honestly, I'd like both, kinda.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, if there's any part of your intention that is wanting to do damage here, then that sounds like a hack and slash to me.
Yeah, I definitely want to do damage.
Nice.
Great. So that is a 10. I guess I should get my Tilbarash cards here, shouldn't I? There you are. Okay. So are you opting to do the extra damage and expose yourself?
I don't think so.
Okay. So go ahead and roll that
Nice.
damage. Dang. It is so much damage. It's amazing.
Pretty much maxed out that roll.
Off with his head.
That is one away from max damage.
Yeah. So this one you take out immediately. What does that look like?
I think it's just a pretty much cut and dry, like straight, like cleave into its spine.
Great. Again, sort of catching right between the plates, and it sort of spasms and the momentum of your sort of push rolls it off of the guy of the Pakin, who's not really not in great shape, but is alive. So in this in this instant, the Hawkman with your bow is sort of kind of swinging around a little bit wildly, and the Barblish has like a big like sledgehammer kind of thing, and maybe another small axe-like improvised weapon, and the Barblish is maybe starting to get a little bit panicked, but you
I say, like, the first thing I want to do is tell them not to panic, like stay calm, be ready. There's two more. We know that.
Great. Can you give me a defy danger charisma to try and get the weight of that across? Good. So with that, I think the easy thing here is you've shored up Hawkman. Hawkman's ready and with you, and the Barblish is still pretty flighty, I guess. Not quite completely stable and steadfast at this point. So at this point, you can't see anything else, but I think you have enough of a sense, especially with your as the panther, I think is basically starting to fade because it was not lasting long. With the last sort of fading vestiges of that kind of awareness of things, you can sense that there are two more out there. I think one of them you get a clearer picture that is sort of up in this kind of cliffside above you, and then one sort of like slightly fuzzier picture of one out in the woods. What are you doing? Not
Is
being
the
able
one
to...
that's like up above, like, well, I assume the one in the woods is like further away, right?
A little bit, yeah. It's that one, like I said, is a little fuzzier and harder to tell, but
I'll probably go after the one that's closer, I would say, or
okay.
that I have a clear picture of.
That's okay. So that's the one. So how are you go? So you can't. All that you're getting of this is a bit of a sense. You haven't seen anything. So what is it you're doing to try and get after this one?
I would say just sort of like stalking forward, trying to, be stealthy, quote unquote.
Okay. Give me a defy danger dex to try and do that stealth thing. Great. Okay. So so you kind of make moves towards the one that you think is hiding up here on the cliff. and you get towards it, and you get in a position where you can see it, and it's up in this sort of like not like a cave, but the um, up a bit on this cliff. There's a lot of like sort of little ledges and nooks and things like that, and you get half of a spot on that thing. It looks ready to kind of act. You can sort of get the sense in its eye that it's these things are not they're trying to pick off the stragglers basically, and the weak things. They're not the kind of things that is going to go sort of right after you in a fight. They're more sort of hit and run things. But as you scope that out, you also hear some kind of crashing of a rush through of probably the other one. You could guess through the foliage, down a little bit below you, as the other one is making move to jump in at the Barblish. What do you do?
I'll jump for the one that's charging, I guess.
Okay.
Just because of that ridiculous cat's grace move that pretty much means I take no fall damage.
Yes. Okay. Great. So that'll preclude you from, I think, having to make another defy danger to sort of make that happen. So just go ahead and give me that hack and slash. Beautiful. Nice.
I'm doing good on the attack and damage rolls, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. So that one, I think you're you again sort of get a real solid hit on this one. And just before it gets to the Barblish, you get it right in the right in the middle of the face or something, and
Right in a weak spot.
right in a weak spot, and this one goes down as well. And as you're doing that, the you see the Hawkman sort of shoot an arrow back up towards the cliff. As the other one now is kind of jumping out. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna defend.
Okay, great. Make that move.
Hey, that sucks.
What's what was your intention in defending? What were you?
Well, I was just assuming.
Sorry, go ahead.
To me, I was assuming it was going to go for the Barblish because it's clearly the weaker of us.
At this point, I think he was going for the Pocken.
For the
the wounded one.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. I was assuming it was going to go for the wounded one because you said they were more. They pick off the weak.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like my gut instinct was to just defend whoever was wounded.
Great. So with that, mark that XP.
And I failed.
I think as it's jumping down, you try and sort of get in the way, and I think it's able to basically bat you off, and you what's your armor?
Just one.
So you're going to take 4 damage, and you are now sort of get batted over to the cliff, and it goes in and basically goes right for the throat of this Pocken on the ground, already kind of bleeding out, and basically finishes the job, and darts off back out of sight. With this, the Barblish just straight up panics and bolts off in kind of the opposite direction into the woods. What do you do?
I'm going to tell Hawkman to start figuring out a way to transport the ones we've killed back to the camp.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna run after the Barblish, but I'm going to try to be careful and stealthy. So defy danger.
Sure. Great. So with this, I think you're trailing behind this Barblish as best as you can, as stealthily as you can, and with a great 12, you are able to catch as this last Tilbarash comes in from the side, and uh, you get the drop on this thing as it's trying to get the drop on um the running Barblish.
Oh hell yeah, Misericord.
So that's I mean I don't we don't
Max
even,
damage.
It's just straight up dead that one.
I'm gonna look at the Barblish and be like, when you're a coward, you become bait.
And I think that Barblish is kind of terrified of you right now, but is not dead, which is great. So yeah, I think we can kind of if you have any specific narrative things here, this was not necessarily your intended thing here, but
Just for the word fiction here,
yeah, please.
my strength is 0. So, ironically, after all this, fully visibly struggling, dragging these things back to the camp.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hawkman is able to kind of get some makeshift like sled type things basically, and the Barblish, I mean Barblish craftsman, is not a weak thing. So I think you can do some quick hasty sort of butchering, actually in which go ahead and roll for me. Let's do 3d4. Great. Okay, I don't know that makes the most sense. How many? You said you had how many rations from your not lembas bread, Zahida?
Like just
I
my.
think it was 14.
I mean, I just have. I mean, I do have regular rations, but I just gave her all of my.
Right, which was
I gave
how
all the
many?
14.
How many?
It
You
was
said
14.
14.
Yes.
Great. Okay. I don't. I mean, yeah. This is 3 large cat creatures.
Also, I'd like to respectfully bring back the pocket, you know.
Ah, okay. Great. Good. Good fiction there. Okay. I don't. Yeah. Let's not. I don't want to get too bogged down with that. You're able to from 3 large cat creatures. I think you're kind of do a quick butcher job, to try and lighten the load a little bit, and pull these back to the camp. Zahida, what does the situation at camp look like right now? We're getting on to sort of evening. It's sun has basically set.
Definitely would have, moved. Try to get people comfortable, but then I would have gone off probably just in the nearby surrounding area of the camp, gotten some firewood going. I'm assuming that there's either visible places where people have put fires here.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this camp, so I just start those up and wait for the hunting party to come back so that we can get cooking.
Woohoo! And then
Is there a water source here?
That's a good question.
Is there a well or a river nearby, or?
We'll call it a well. I think it'll take a little bit of doing. You'll probably have to boil some of the water and whatnot,
Right.
to make sure it's all clean after being partially pillaged and whatnot. But yeah, I think.
What's her face and Gentis-Jentish, if they could help with that, since I tend to the fires or something.
And then Matthos, how are things looking for you here?
I'm pretty sure I'm up in whatever makeshift crow's nest this shitty little boat has, just making sure nobody's coming up on us.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be.
Good. Okay, so there we go. We've got enough food for everybody to eat. That's the make camp.
Delete the bread from my inventory.
Yes, please do. Okay, and then
didn't mean to do that.
Great. So then, you're getting down. Does anybody know how to cook? Just out of curiosity.
I do.
You know how to cook? Great.
Absolutely.
So you're making Tilburesh stew here or something?
Yeah. Yep. Whatever is the most efficient, probably.
Great. Is it how is it? Is it good?
It's a little gamey.
A little gamey. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, you probably don't know how to cook Tilburesh, do you?
Probably not, but
I mean, maybe you get some help.
They had a lot of adrenaline going through their muscles too, so there we go.
That's true. That is true.
Damn it, how do I change this?
You don't quite get all the glowy bits out, and whatnot. So, I think Hawkman probably has some help for you. He seems to be some kind of at least hobbyist hunter. Great. Okay, so someone over the course of the night, I think just on behalf of everyone, we're not in a super dangerous area here. So someone give me a roll plus wisdom. You can decide on who's going to give me that.
Who's got the best?
Matthos,
no.
Is this
I'm a 0.
No, I'm a negative.
I'm a 0 as well. But that last wisdom roll allowed me to fucking
6.
level up.
Beautiful. I'll give you. Yeah. I mean, I'll give you a +1 from some help. Gentis-Jentish, I think can take half a watch here or whatever. So, we'll call that fine. It's not the most restful of nights' sleep, but each of you are able to recover half of your health.
Oh yeah, bro.
consumed.
Would this rest allow us to level up? Just game mechanics wise.
Yes, yes.
Cool.
Half, do I round up or down?
Does it make a difference?
Yeah, I'm down 7 points.
But
I
it's
rounded down
half of your
'cause
total.
that's-
half of your
yeah.
total health, right?
Yeah,
Oh. Okay, well then I guess it doesn't matter. I'm full.
yeah, half your max HP. Yeah, great. Okay, so then, with all of that done, you know what? I should give a name to Hawkman.
Yeah, I was gonna say like DC might have a word with us if we don't name him soon.
Yeah, Hawk Guy.
Hello, I'm right here.
I think that's even worse.
His name is Vanmer. Pop that in the chat.
He's human, right?
He is human, yes, because he was using animancy. Great. So, with that, yeah, you guys wake up the next morning. Make sure you all mark a use off of your rations if you have not.
What if we ate cat?
Oh, I guess if you ate, yeah, okay, all right, that's fine. If you ate Tilbaresh stew, even if it was a little gamey, and yeah, so then the next day, you guys are able to sort of make it back in to Newwater Nest without much more incident. I mean, we can say that you let some people fly in the ship again. To save them from that. And you all make it back to Newwater Nest. So does anybody have any? And you roll back to full health and everything. So that doesn't matter. Let's bring everybody back here. All right. So here we are back in here. All right. So mirrors, I think mirrors is going to be gone, and the exotic accomplishment is also going to be gone by this point when you get back. They've gone on to do the other things. The shadows is still here. Obviously, because it's not going to fly away without Gentis-Jentish. Great. So, does anybody have any sort of immediate pressing things or narrative fun little things you want to address as we get back into Newwater Nest and back to the horizons?
Like before we turn in our quest? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean basically. Yeah, I mean there's definitely going to be a meeting with your
Right.
quest givers in order. But just wondered if anybody had anything that they wanted to.
I say to Gentis and Gentish that if they need our help with anything in the future, to just ask. Since they would have were we getting, like, did they just ask us to go do this, or were we getting paid? I can't remember why.
You were getting paid.
Okay.
You were getting paid by Nilia.
Yeah, the governess, right?
Governess. And then I believe the payment you were getting from Kint was the open communication.
Right.
And such.
Yeah, okay. I mean, even though Gentis-Jentish was like getting paid for this as well.
Yeah,
I've
so
like
he was
thank them
also
for their
getting
help and
subcontracted whatever. So
right.
Yeah.
Thank them for their help and offer our services in the future.
I think they seem in slightly better of a mood at this point, and he gives you a nod and says, "Thank you. It's good to know that there's another well, someone worth their spear's weight around here. I will hold you to that." And the animal head also lifts up and chimes in, saying that and the stew wasn't half bad. A little gamey, but I'll take it. And they walk off, and go do their thing. Great. So you guys get back to, well. So he goes off with his with the ship, and takes that back to, whatever, does his thing. And then so you guys bring the refugees onto the horizons, I suppose, because that's where all the other, or at least in the,
If that's isn't that I mean, was there a refugee area here in Newwater Nest, or
Yeah, I
were we
think-
keeping all the refugees?
I think you had sort of there was a little bit of a refugee camp out sort of outside the wall here, kind of outside this area, near the horizons, because so much of your ship was unexplored, that it wasn't, it was kind of getting crammed for space there. So so yeah, I mean,
We'd like direct them to that area, I suppose. Or if they need, if there's like a doctor's,
yeah,
if
great,
there's
great.
like some sort of hospital or something, probably send them there.
If I'm remembering correctly, I feel like Brack had an area for taking care of people, and I want to say that Nilia was helping him with that. So I think if you're helping them, and you're helping some of the elderly wounded into that area, that's where you find Nilia. She's in there, kind of ready to receive these people, having sort of gotten seeing you guys were coming, basically, and expresses some amount of I don't know, maybe not surprise is not the right word, but just, I'm very pleased you were able to find more. I thank you. Let me see to these people, get them settled, and I will meet you in the meeting hall, and we can discuss. And she kind of gets to work with that.
Was Kentelestral in the meeting hall with us when?
No,
Or did we see him separately?
Yes, you met him.
Okay.
He was sort of right outside the boat when you guys were getting on it, with Gentis-Jentish. That's where he sort of met you.
Okay, is he lounging around the area somewhere?
He is not.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'm not sure that it's. I don't know if it's safe to just carry this big fucking thing around, so I would probably go and fetch him so that he can get it himself.
okay. So, how would you do that? I guess you maybe find someone
Go to the mummer's quarter, probably.
send so you're just going right over there?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean,
Okay.
what is it, like the middle of the night or something, or like?
No. This is. I mean, by the time you get back, I'd say it's again getting to sort of maybe late afternoon or so. Early evening, maybe.
I
So
mean,
no,
since if I have some time to kill before we go back to the meeting hall, then yeah, I'd probably go get him.
okay. Um, Great. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of time. I think if I'll say this, if you were gonna go take that to him and meet him there, you would probably be
No, I'm not taking it to him.
okay.
He has to come to me to get it.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I mean, if you wanted, you could probably like send a messenger
Send a
or
messenger?
something.
Sure.
I think
Yeah, I
that's
do that.
Um,
I'll do that.
great. So here's how we can do that. So once you guys sort of get back into the ship, you are greeted by Rickless, um,
Nice.
who is in. I wouldn't quite call it a uniform, but it's something like that. It looks like very nice if kind of thrown together. Um, but you see sort of trailing a little bit behind him, another slightly younger, so sort of maybe late teens, another young man, who is in this sort of same kind of sort of cobbled together but very tidy looking quote unquote uniform. um, and as you guys come back, both of them see you and sort of give a sharp salute.
What the fuck?
And
I say that out loud.
he like kind of slightly like starts like a little bit sort of caught by that, but he says, welcome back aboard. I trust your journey was productive.
What the fuck,
I looked over at
Rickless?
Matthos. Yeah.
He says, uh, I all of you were gone. This ship is still in quite a state of disorder. I thought it might be useful to at least attempt to establish some form of order. I've tried
Yeah,
to
no, that's fine. Don't salute me.
uh uh y- yes sir.
No.
Don't call him.
No. This isn't gonna work.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm not
Um,
your superior. I'm not your boss. I hired you, yes, but you're your own thing. You do what you need to do, and I'm gonna trust you to do it. But you don't call me sir. You don't salute me, and just yeah, no,
I,
no.
y- y- y-
Call me Matthos. It's fine.
okay, Matthos.
Don't make it weird, man.
I
Call him. You could call him Captain.
Oh God. Well, yeah, I'm fine with that.
So, is there anything, is there anything I can help with? And
Who's the kid? Who's this?
oh man, I guess you should probably have a name, huh?
I mean, did I tell you guys that Rickless is working with us now?
No, you didn't. You
Oh,
you
hey,
forgot to mention that.
so I almost died, and so did Rickless, kind of. But
Last I remember, he was like, I have a job and a family, and I'm not working for you."
yeah, well, I kind of convinced him that this was more important, and his family's coming too. And yeah, so he's kind of like our
Is this mini
law
Rickless
on
then?
the ship now. He's like one of us.
One of us. One of us.
So
I say congratulations, and I stick out my hand to, or whatever the equivalent of a handshake is here. I can't remember. I think we
yeah.
learned it though.
And he returns that enthusiastically and very neatly. And so he gestures over to the young man with him, and says, "This is Javin. He, as I've said, I began to put together some form of, we don't really know what to call it. It's not necessarily a militia or a
Like a guard?
yes, like a guard. And Javin is one of my assistants, I suppose. We should probably
Yeah,
establish some form of rank.
congratulate him as well, and I'll give him another handshake as the kid too.
He's very excited about that. I think maybe he's like a little bit, I don't know that like starstruck is maybe the right word, but maybe something approaching that.
He's definitely starstruck. Yeah, for sure.
And so I mean, to put it out there, this would be a good opportunity to say like, hey, I need a message sent to.
Oh, as a matter of fact, you're absolutely right. There is something that you could help us with.
And great. Well, yes.
I need to get a hold of Kentelestral, and I need him to meet us here or set a meeting himself, one of the two. But we have to meet with the governess, so I don't have time to go talk to him myself, unfortunately.
He says, "Very good. We'll take care of it." And he sort of gives a little gesture to Javin, and Javin runs off to go take care of it.
Yeah, he's an energetic one.
Well, yes.
Look at you. I clapped Matthos on the back. I said, "Look at you hiring people for us."
And
I roll my eyes and just walk away.
And Rickless says, "Wait, are we getting paid for this?"
Oh.
We're kind of saving your people, so yes.
Yeah, I suppose.
Also, if
right.
there's anything left over, yes, you'll get paid.
Great.
Wait a second, you guys are getting paid for this?
When I get paid, you get paid.
Great. So then, I guess as you guys are sort of walking, I think you'll have the time to sort of go, get changed or whatever before
Clean
you
the blood off of
clean
us.
the blood off of you.
Before Fawyt leaves, she salutes Matthos.
I punch her in the face.
So
salutes Matthos.
I just want to give a quick. I know we don't want to like map this ship, but I think as you guys are sort of walking, towards, up towards where your quarters or whatever are. I just want to sort of quick hash back over this, but I think we can use this as an explanation as you guys are sort of walking. Reckless is walking with you and sort of explains that in an effort to sort of help organize things, they've given sort of informal names to sections of the ship. So there's the big, basically at the big front kind of cliff thing, and in the sort of the center of the ship is this big sort of like stone area. There's lots of kind of rooms and caves carved into or whatever. That's where at the top and the front is where the bridge area is. They're referring to basically all of that stone area as foundation. There's the keep, as they're calling it, which is the big sort of kind of castle-y area, kind of up at the sort of the center, at the top, at the front of the area where there's sort of breaks back into like houses and buildings and all of that kind of stuff, and all of that area, sort of basically at the top back and then sort of going down and around, almost down to the bottom of the ship in the sort of middle and back, they're referring to as the village. And some people are even going as far as referring to it as the upper village and the under village, basically the area at the top and the sort of the areas further down. So where, yeah, the sort of upper village I can't spell, and the under village. Where, so we have the sort of the meeting hall area and Matthos's captain's room that's in the keep there. I think the kind of barracks area is also up in the keep, so like the sort of big bunk room kind of things, which is probably where your sort of salesmen, your sailors are stationed. And then
Call them salesmen.
salesman, yeah, that's SAIL, not SO.
Right. I mean, sailors.
Okay, yeah, okay, fine. It's fantasy sailors, though. All right. Anyway, um,
Fantasy salesman.
so
Fantasy Costco, where all your dreams come true.
Is that copyright? Are we allowed to say that? Anyway.
Yeah, Griffin will be fine with it.
So, do you guys have any strong feelings about where the rest of your like quarters are? So I
I
think
mean, we probably all picked. Wasn't there like we all picked rooms that were like they
uh,
were all pretty close together, but they were all their own small rooms or something.
yeah. So you think that's all in the keep there?
I mean, probably.
Okay. Cool. Great. And then let's see. Let's look at quick look at the rooms that we've discovered so far. So there's the armory and the training room. That also feels like it's probably in the keep, right? The laboratory and the workshop. I think that's probably down in the foundation somewhere, but not too far down. There's the kind of hangar, which I think is basically sort of back down, kind of between, at the sort of the bottom of like where the under village turns back into the foundation.
Yeah, that's where we keep all of the other ships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like right now, I think we might just have refugees there, but
Yes. But that's that. There's the stable area there. This weapon system is definitely down in Foundation somewhere. And then quarters, galleys, and amenities. So this kitchen thing, I guess this is a little different than what we had envisioned at first. But I think this kitchen area is probably a building somewhere in the upper village. Would be my guess. Great. So anyway, he's leading you back up to the keep, to your rooms there. And as he's walking and talking, he's kind of giving you like reports or whatever on some of the goings on of the ship. He mentions that Matthos, as you had kind of requested, his older sister Larsa, the one who worked at the pub, basically the inn, is kind of setting up a thing in an area. We'll call it like an upper room, like a big upper room of that kitchen area. That she's starting to get that set up as basically like a kind of a lounge. pub area, sort of like a bar, that kind of a thing. She's still got like lots of work to do on it, but
Would it be rude to tell Zahida she should go and learn from her? Because that stew was
To learn from who? Who am I learning from?
from Larsa.
Rickless' sister, Larsa.
What is she? Oh, is she like a cook or something? I missed that part.
Yeah.
She worked at the
Listen, I
the
cooked with
cornerstone.
what I had. We had meat and water. That's what we had, okay?
Right, but she's used to these ingredients. And
Then it's a good thing you hired her, isn't it?
yeah, that's true.
And then he also makes mention that his slightly younger sister, oh no, tell me I didn't put her name in here. His, no, sorry, Larsa is the, oh man, Larsa is the younger sister. The older sister was the one that with the bar. The younger sister, he sort of reminds you, Matthos, and the rest of the group that she had been working for like a small architectural firm, basically, and says that she wanted to have a slight meeting at some point, whenever you guys are available, or maybe this is something that would be best addressed when then the rest of your compatriots are back, but has a small proposal, and Gina is the older sister. Sorry, the one setting up the bar.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And Larsa.
Yeah, so I hired like a lot of people. I thought I told everybody. Apparently, I didn't.
No.
We
I
have
was very surprised to see Rickless on our ship.
We have a crew now. Sort of.
About that, Rickless says, we have the beginnings of a crew, but in case you hadn't noticed, the ship is rather large.
Oh no, we know. We've explored like 2% of it.
Yeah, with the guard I've been setting up, we've been trying to and then he sort of like looks over at Fawyt and Zahida, and then looks back at you, Matthos, and says, we've been making small forays into unexplored parts of the ship, some on request, but
You.
anyway, there's only so much we can find, and there's really only so much we can do with so few people, especially with most of the people of Third Shoulder looking to get back to Third Shoulder. We need people on this ship, especially if from what I've heard, you're looking to take on the Armada, right?
Uh-huh.
You don't have to say that so loud.
You're looking to take on the Armada, right?
I mean, the damage is done, Rickless.
Listen. Well, first of all, Third Shoulder is not going to be safe for quite some time. So, unfortunately, those people are going to have to wait.
Oh. I suppose that complicates things.
Well, that is my guess. When we went, there was a lot of Gelwalkers, okay? And we only got a couple of them, so.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
sure
quite
this
a
can be saved for your meeting with Nilia, but keep it in mind, people are the resource we are going to need the most on this ship to really be able to bring the force of it to bear.
It's a good thing that Matthos is such a good hiring manager
HR.
So here's kind of the deal. If I told you that we had quite a few, and I kind of do the quotation marks, people, we just have to figure out how to be able to move them with the ship.
Oh, I pinch the bridge of my nose. In.
Wh-
In
I mean,
exhaustion.
What do you? I'm not sure I follow.
I tell him
God.
about the other us's.
Oh.
God, can you imagine how confusing
Oh.
that will be?
I see.
He thinks you're nuts now. He's gonna quit. He's gonna quit. He's gonna quit his job
He owes
because
me. I saved his life. Wait, what did he save mine? I don't remember. It was bad.
I think there was enough to go around for the both of us.
I mean, we can show you. I just
a long journey that we need people for.
yeah. It's a whole thing.
Oh, Reckless, do you have any suggestions?
I had put some thought into it.
That's what I like to hear.
The people are going to be difficult to tear away from cities. There are people here that we've been able to pick up. As some of the people of Third Shoulder are going to be stay on. We have a few merchants, as you had apparently previously negotiated.
I raised my eyebrows at the other two, and I'm like, somebody did that.
Yeah, you guys all did that.
Oh yeah, we did that.
I was very hyper focused on hiring one person.
Oh, that was a while ago. That was
God.
the deal you guys struck with Nilia before.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
As I said, people will be hard to tear away from the cities, at least in large numbers. Perhaps we can pick up a few here and there. The only suggestion I might be able to offer is that there are villages out in the wilds. Most of the time, people there are under enough stress and have enough issues that the only reason they don't leave for the cities is because they aren't able to. And you can see, like there's a little bit of earnestness in his eyes at this, that you probably weren't necessarily expecting in full, but um, uh, uh, but it's it's there. Like you can, it's a visible thing. Perhaps if we found a few of them, and maybe some of them would be willing to join. It's at least an option.
That sounds great.
To consider.
You write down all the stuff, all the places you think that we should go, and we'll do that.
I will gather some information. I will see if we can get access to some charts. We'll find what we can. And he says, as you guys are arriving up back at the keep, he says, unless there is anything else, I will see you at the meeting with the governess.
Keep what I told you between us for now, please.
I understand. And
yeah, because it sounds crazy as shit.
Well, I mean, it's also crazy as shit that we didn't come from this world. What do you want from me?
You what?
Don't.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Reckless, don't mind Matthos. He has a few marbles loose, clearly.
I only have a few.
See, the captain's had a really long day.
I understand. And he makes to throw his arm up in a salute, and then catches himself, and then just sort of stands there stiffly for a second, and just gives
I stick my arm out to give a little fist bump.
and he doesn't know exactly what that is, but he slaps you on the closed fist hand and gives a little nod and turns and runs
we'll
away.
work on it.
Okay. Make note of that. Great. So that's a couple things that you guys have got in the works there. Is there anything anybody wants to cover before we get to meeting with the governess?
I mean, I'm assuming that we're presentable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, take the time
I'm
to.
half tempted to not make myself presentable and go as is.
I mean, from what you remember of Nilia anyway, she's the kind of like she's shown up to these meetings with her sleeves rolled up and kind of sweaty and whatever. So she's certainly not one for decorum, if that's what you're.
I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy that I sent the flag or the banner off to.
Oh yeah.
The,
Sorrel, the one of the communer's advisors.
right. Um, last time we were in the meeting with Nilia and who was the other guy's name?
And Deliberus, the
Okay.
crafter minister.
Right. I can't remember if I asked them.
I think you
to do it,
originally did, but then we sort of kind of half retconned it because you were thinking of the wrong Pokken.
Right, but I was thinking I can't remember if we actually talked to him directly about it or if I just had it sent off.
You
to
had
him.
it sent to him, yeah.
Okay. Then I'll just wait for word back on that.
Yeah,
whenever
because
he
I mean,
gets...
also keep in mind that was only like 2 or 3 days ago. So.
Oh God, really? It's been weeks.
No, because I mean, you sent it before you
Yeah,
came to
Right.
went back to Third Shoulder, which you took a day to. Yeah, I mean, like 2-3 days max. Because you got there, is it a day? It's a day. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So it's just been a couple days since then, but great. So you guys come back down to the meeting room. This big sort of cavernous space. There's big tapestries up and this cool table down here in the bottom of the keep. And Nilia comes in, and Deliberus comes in. I'm trying to think if anybody else is here. Rickless is here, and he's got another person like at the door, basically, sort of standing, um, kind of, standing guard kind of thing. And so you guys, the three of you sit down. I guess Iridia's here as well, because she was part of that original meeting. So you guys all get kind of settled in, and
I immediately go over to Iridia and give her plans for my new smoke bombs.
great. Is there anything specific about these smoke bombs that you're? I mean,
Oh wait, I didn't take those.
You say new smoke bombs.
Yeah, I didn't take that move. Never mind.
Oh, you didn't take the. Oh, there was like an extra. Okay, right.
Yeah, I was gonna upgrade them, but I didn't take that, so it's fine. Never mind. Ignore that.
Great. Okay. Well, that didn't happen. So you get settled in, and Nilia, not one to sort of waste any time, crosses her fingers and leaves forward on the table, and like I said, she was down working in the infirmary, so she's maybe got like a couple spots of blood on her or something. Hastily washed hands, sleeves rolled up, a little sweaty, and Delebris is sitting next to her. The elderly Barblish is kind of sitting there. Maybe looks like half asleep a little bit. But she leans forward and says, "Well, what were you able to find?"
A bunch of refugees.
Yes, and for that I am grateful. What?
Also, a bunch of Gilwalkers.
And she kind of sighs and lowers her heads a little bit. It seems our reports were incorrect then. The horde is still there?
Yep.
And doing something. We weren't able to find out what.
I see.
The majority of them were centered around the, was it the tower thing? Well, I don't
The
remember.
Fortitude's Tower, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horde. I
Didn't
don't
she send
remember.
us to find some people
No,
Uh,
that was I
or
think
something?
Withdrawal.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was just. She had just sent you basically to see if, to see if it was safe, and then Endeliberus had asked to see if you could also get some tools and materials and stuff to help you build your workshop, which you were able to find tools, but you hadn't gotten any like extra rare materials or anything like that. So you've got the tools, um, but that was it.
I mean, it was dark. We didn't really get a good count on how many there were, but we knew how many they were going to use to try and kill us, and that's an important thing to know.
Hmm. I see. Um, the the whole it is so odd to see the whole horde staying aground for so long. Um,
Uh, she was there when we lifted off and saw the cartographer, right?
yes.
Uh, yeah, I say it probably has something to do with uh glowing man.
Did you see any sign of them?
No, we didn't go up into the tower. Obviously, there were too many of them, um, and we could only see. I mean, there was a ton of movement. Whatever it was that they were doing, it was keeping them busy. But
So
we were
they were.
spotted by several parties of them out along the
Oh, you say they were
other
only
areas.
centered around the tower. Surely that can't have been the thousands of the horde that was there before. Were
I wouldn't. I don't. I mean, thousands, probably not. But I mean, at least dozens, at least, because we killed like a group of like six and then another group of six or something, right? Like we fought like quite a few of them, and then there was another party that came after us, and we had to run onto the ship and fly away.
interesting.
They didn't give chase, at least not after we left the city. So my
Gil-
guess is that they stayed there.
Gilwalkers are not one to spend too long on a Toberon. They prefer the wilds of the Gel. But only, even if there were only a few hundred, that is not a horde. It seems that at least most of them had left then.
I mean, maybe what's in that tower, or how many? I mean, can you fit a bunch of people in that tower? I don't even know what it. I don't even know what it is.
I mean,
You know?
the tower is their little like kind of civic building, basically.
Hmm.
It's nothing like crazy. So you're not certainly not going to fit like 800 things in there or something.
I mean, when there's a will, there's a way.
Um,
Yeah, there definitely wasn't thousands of them.
hmm,
Maybe, possibly not even hundreds, but there was enough that we would have been overrun had we been met with them.
I understand. It is better that you were safe. Um, this was intended just to be a scouting mission. This... I do not know if this is more troubling or less. I certainly have never known hordes to split up. So this is certainly odd behavior. We'll have to keep an eye out. But my concern here is for my people. Thank you for your information and for your work. And Delibris here tells me that there was some delivery of tools, and they will begin getting this workshop of yours set up as soon as they can, even without further materials. We will be able to make something serviceable. And she kind of sits back in her chair and says, "Well, if there is anything else, I will attend to my people." And she how much is she gonna pay you? 20 coins each. So she kind of slides purses of coin over to each of you. So 20 coins for each of the three of you.
Do the coins have specific names, or are they like gold coins or something? I don't even know what.
No,
currency
I'm
here
just
is like.
saying. I'm just saying coins is because that's what the sort of the
Okay.
generic thing that Dungeon World uses. We haven't really talked about currency here, but some form of precious metal coin thing.
Sure.
Great. So then she gets up and she gives you a little kind of half bow and then sort of briskly walks away, and Delibris gets up and sort of looks over to Iridia and says, "The people I also promised will be on their way and looking to settle in the next few days or so. We will set up this workshop, and I thank you for your help in getting some of our people back." And he gives a nod as well, and sort of shuffles out. And then, as you guys are sort of getting up and getting ready to go, you are a young woman comes sort of jogging in to the meeting room here. And if any of you remember, this is Iale, who was the sort of messenger kind of person in charge of the messenger stuff in Newwater Nest. She was the one that worked at the that like messenger house that you kind of saved from some people. They were kind of like trying to
Didn't we
frame her or something.
Yeah, they were trying to frame her, and we figured out it wasn't her, and
So she is sort of late teens, bright red hair, human female. Mildly serious looking. But she comes in and looks over to Matthos, and says, "Matthos, yes,
Mm-hmm.
I have a message for you."
Okay.
And she looks around and at the sort of the other people in the room, and says, "I was instructed that it is a message of some amount of privacy."
From who?
She. Oh no, where's my? It is. She says. It. I was instructed to give this directly to you.
From who?
I was told not to say. As I said, it is a matter of some privacy. I take this very seriously.
Is this person like armed?
No, she's a messenger.
Here's your
I
message, and then
don't-
she fucking throws a knife at
Yeah,
you.
I don't trust you.
I mean, it's just us and what's his name, right? Rickless.
Rickless and one other of his people.
Rickless, you can go.
He gives a quick nod and pulls him and the other person out and shuts the doors.
Anything that you need to say to me can be said in front of these two.
She. Great. She steps up and she says, "I have a message from Taran of the Communers Chosen. I was told that he and you had some acquaintance. And
Who is Taryn?
Taran is the one of the two people that you and Rickless had sort of run into. They were the sort of the elite guard, the FBI people, basically.
Oh, the ones that tried to kill me. Yeah.
Well, Taran is the one that sort of looked the other way while you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah.
So yeah. He wishes to know of your
Ooh, kind of got distracted. Hey Fawyt, I need you to get some information from a guy.
Okay.
We have a prisoner on board.
We what?
Yeah, so that whole fight that Rickless and I got into, we caught a spy. And Taryn, the guy that sent this messenger, kind of looked the other way so that I could keep him and pry some information from him. And I kind of forgot about it until just at this moment right here in time, like right now.
You forgot that we had a prisoner. On
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah. Totally. It's not really my forte, you know. But Fawyt, I feel like you, of all people, might know how to make people kind of tell us what we want to know.
You might totally know how to torture someone like Matthos.
No, let's not use the T word here. The guy's in pretty rough shape already, so he might die, but... tell Taryn that I'll get back with him shortly. We probably shouldn't have this discussion in front of somebody that we don't know.
She says to you, "I assure you, my confidence is assured." He only requested me to tell you that if your guest had not been yet dealt with, that perhaps it can be arranged that he come assist you.
Why do we have this spy?
He's working with the bad people.
Oh, okay. You left that part out.
I mean, make assumptions, dear. It'll be okay.
You know what they say about assumptions? Makes an ass out of you and umption.
I'm not sure that's how that goes. So yeah, we should probably go talk to that guy, huh?
I can send any message onto him directly if you wish.
Tell him we're gonna go give it the old college try, and if we don't get anywhere, I'll give him a little call, and we'll go from there.
The
I
old-
don't think
the-
there's any reason to bring Taryn into this quite yet, because he's already kind of laying low, so he doesn't get in trouble with his bosses for letting this guy escape. I also think I told him that it would be dealt with, and he would never see this guy ever again. I don't even remember his name; it's unimportant. So yeah, this person is essentially
Fawyt gives a nod and sudden
disappeared.
understanding.
gonna give torture the old college try.
And then probably murder. We're probably gonna have to do that too.
And she gives a nod and then turns over to Zahida, and reaches into her bag and has a letter, and says, "I was given this on my way. It is from Kintelstraw, and I'm told this is for you." And gives it to you, Zahida. And then she sort of stands there for like a little
Waiting.
bit.
She's waiting for payment, Matthos. You fucking dick.
What's appropriate in this situation?
I'd probably like a gold or something.
Yeah, one of the gold pieces I just got, she can have.
Great, mark it off. You
And then I'm gonna give the rest to Rickless. So just take it all from me.
okay?
You can do that off screen.
How much did you give to Rickless?
19 gold pieces. Because I gave her 1, and we just got 20.
Great. Okay, so then
I open my letter.
okay, so basically the gist of the letter is that Kintelstraw would like to arrange a meeting with just you, basically, to receive the plate, and such. So
Did he put a time? Did he any information at all?
yeah, he mentions he indicates where the moor, which is his like sort of moving party bar, is going to be to we'll say tomorrow night.
Okay.
So that's that. So
I put that in my Google calendars.
great. So here's what I think we'll do. We'll call it here for tonight. And then I think the next thing we have scheduled is next Monday. I think let's do that with Matthos and Fawyt. Dealing with I think his name is Kolvar.
That sounds about right.
So we'll do a session with you two, dealing with that, and then Zahida will schedule a session with you, that we can do you and Kintelstraw.
Got it.
Sweet.
Cool.
So yeah, apparently I failed at catching everybody up, and I am sorry.
He was on the ship, and I was like, oh, so he is working. So he
Yeah,
just decided while we were gone he was going to work for us. That's good initiative on him.
there was a whole thing, and like I show him my scars, and I'm like, it was really bad, And yeah, we have
Yeah,
a
'cause
prisoner.
there's
We
a-
have new employees. We have employees' families that are now employees. He's kind of not really an employee and more just like a COO.
You love to see it.
Man.
I hate the fact that he's saluted. Oh, that just gets me.
He I mean, you know, he's a
Man, the other guys are going to be so impressed with what I've done.
I mean, that's assuming they make it back alive. Anyway, so end of session. Anybody got any bonds? I didn't do like a whole lot here, but
I don't think mine changed at all.
Yeah, mine didn't change either, I don't think.
anybody alignment?
Yes.
Great.
Easy.
Yeah, I will give you that. Because yours is the defend, protect,
Yep.
weaker. Yeah, you carried the guy. And
That's right.
stuff, so I'll give you one for that. Anybody else have a case to make?
Not even
Nah.
remotely.
All right. Alignment. Blah blah. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
I mean, a little bit, I guess, about the Gelwalkers. A little that they don't. I mean, I didn't know that they don't stay on the Toberon for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
And that it was that she. I mean, she seemed really surprised that they were still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, you at least learned that there
So
was
that you can eat
something up.
Tilbarash.
Also, that you can eat Tilbarash, and it's kind of gamey.
Yep.
Great. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy? No. Did we loot a memorable treasure? No, I don't think so. So take one from learning something new and important, and one for Zahida's alignment. All right. Great. Anything else before we wrap? Fantastic. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.